We obtained two reports from Congress in the Washington Commanders investigation. We have one from the House Oversight Committee, the other a response from Republican members on that same committee. And this really says a lot. The title of that one, Committee Democrats' Misuse of Congressional Oversight in Washington Commanders Investigation.
I suppose nothing should surprise us at this point, but these reports are so big and so voluminous, and there are so many moving parts that we have a whole team dedicated to it tonight. First, we're going to bring in our sports director, Darren Haynes, who is heading up our coverage tonight. Dee, you've been combing through this. I mean, it's
a lot.
Huge. It is huge.
It's a lot.
Outside of the girth of it, what can we take away from this?
Well, a lot of stuff. But the first thing I do want to mention that in regards to the Oversight Committee's report, this is 79 pages. The Dan Snyder testimony, 298 pages. And the Bruce Allen testimony, the former president of the Washington Commanders, 252 pages. And in these reports, especially for Dan Snyder, he said, I do not recall, or during his testimony, more than 100 times to just plain simple questions. But I did comb through all of this, and there's a lot of stuff that we want to talk about. But let me just really break it down very easily for you guys, so you don't have to read the hundreds of pages to make it easy for everybody. But the first thing is, more than 2 decades, Washington Commander employees were subjected to deeply entrenched toxic work culture under the leadership of owner Dan Snyder, and also ignored and downplayed sexual misconduct. Number 2, the report says Mr. Snyder interfered with the NFL's investigation of the team, attempting to block access to information and trying to silence employees. Also, Snyder interfered with the committee's investigation by intimidating witnesses. And number 3, the NFL was aware of Mr. Snyder's interference, but didn't do anything to stop it. The report says the league also misled the public about its handling of the investigation. Now, the NFL responded to the report saying the league issued a public release and imposed a record-setting fine on the club and its ownership. The club also implemented a series of recommendations by the Wilkinson firm. The statement also goes on to say the Commanders have since made significant improvements in its workplace culture. Now, the Commanders, they also responded saying these congressional investigations demonstrated almost immediately that they were not interested in the truth and were only interested in chasing headlines by pursuing one side of the story. Today's report is the predictable accumulation of that one-sided approach. So now people are wondering, well, what's next? The report says the committee recommends, in order for the NFL and its clubs to continue to benefit from antitrust exemptions and tax-exempt bonds, it's Congress that should require the NFL to follow all state and federal employment laws. Now,